2021 is going to be the year of Volkswagen. At least that's what Ashish Gupta, the newly appointed brand director of Volkswagen India, has to say. Ashish, thanks for talking to us. Your first interaction with the media, and you've started 2021 on a slightly confident note. Clearly, it's the year of the Taigun as well as other products. So just give us a quick sense of what 2021 is going to be looking like for Volkswagen India.
First of all, Hormuz, thank you for this interaction. I think it makes sense to be interacting, my first media interaction to be with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think 2021 is going to be an exciting year for us. We have a lot of product plans as well. We have our SUVW strategy very well in place. So we will be coming out with 4 SUVWs as we said during the last Auto Expo as well, this year as well. As you said very rightly, it's going to be the year of the Taigun. That's our big story for this year. So it's an exciting year for us.
You know, you've talked about SUVs. Is that really the strategy? Because, I mean, you do have the sedan, the Vento, which really is the backbone of your model range, Polo as well. Are we going to be seeing a shift towards SUVs in terms of the model mix?
I would say the SUVWs complete our portfolio. You know, naturally, I think where we have been lacking a little bit is giving choices to the customer and options for the customer to upgrade within VW. So SUVW is typically a completion of our portfolio. And that's where the market is moving to as well. Hormuz, you know this better than me. The market share of SUVWs has been growing exponentially. They are the largest growing segments in the market. In fact, this is the only segment which has grown during the pandemic year as well. So it makes sense for us to be present in that space, to give options to the customers, to make sure that we have a wide portfolio available of SUVs, because that seems to be the choice of the customers.
But looking at the competition, you know, speaking quite frankly, Ashish, you do have some gaps still. Sub 4 meter, that seems to be a really hot segment as well, which you all are not present. And a lot of people say SUVs are not complete without diesel. And again, you're absent there. We've talked about this before. How do you, you know, how confident are you given these, so I would say, so-called limitations?
Yeah, so it's a factor of, Hormuz, I would say, that what kind of a space do you want to position yourself in. We have clearly decided to position ourselves as the top of the mass segment. Yeah, that's where we are looking at positioning as a premium aspirational product, and that's with the segments we will typically target. Having said that, we have nothing against the sub 4 meter segment. It's a great segment to be in.
And you will be exploring that as well.
But definitely, I think that segment has been under pressure.
Right.
If we are definitely exploring that segment, but under our SUVW strategy.
Right. But, you know, looking at the 4.2, 4.3 meter segment, clearly it looks like, you know, there is a lot of action there. Quite honestly, it's the Koreans who are there, but not too many other people. So do you feel there's a bit of an opportunity in that space? Because it's quite, I would say, relatively not as crowded as some of the other segments.
Definitely, there's an opportunity, and these are the things that we analyze every day in our business plans. Definitely, there's an opportunity there. The A0 SUV segment, which we are entering with the Taigun, is the fastest growing segment. The sub 4 meter SUV segment is the fastest growing segment in India. So definitely, these are opportunities which are going to be there for the next 4 to 5 years. So definitely, we have our analysis going on that. We are entering the A0 SUV segment with the Taigun, and definitely exploring other opportunities in the lower segments as well.
So lower segments, I want to just pin you on that.
Yeah.
Polo.
Yeah.
Is there a future for the Polo once you have a replacement for the Vento? Because clearly PQ25 is going to be going, and you know, just to have one product on it vis-a-vis 3, because you have to include the Rapid as well.
Yeah.
It makes it, what it suggests is that you know, there won't be a Polo once the next generation sedan comes. I know it's not going to be a Vento, it could be something else. Yeah. So just your thoughts and comments on that.
I can't comment on Skoda or on the Rapid, but what I would like to say is that the Polo, of course, has been a very important product for us. It's the core of our positioning in India as well. But you also have to definitely see the development in customer preferences going into the future. The customer preferences is definitely moving towards SUVs. Yeah, so that's where we have been positioning ourselves in terms of giving opportunities to Polo owners and customers in that segment to upgrade within the VW family. That's where the Taigun fits in beautifully. Having said that, the platform that we have, the MQB A0 iN platform, is very amenable to products like the Polo hatchback as well. Yeah? Globally, the new Polo that we have is a 4.3, 4.4 meter.
Exactly, that's the problem.
So it does require a lot of customization to bring it on into India to be amenable to the sub 4 meter tax laws and whatever it is. But definitely, it's a possibility that is possible. That is an option with the MQB A0
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah, but to be honest, Ashish, a lot of things are possible, but are they feasible? They are two different things.
So that's the challenge, frankly.
Right.
Frankly, almost that's the challenge for us as well. Whether it makes a business case for us. Yeah. At the end of the day, we of course want to cater to the market, grow our volumes in the market, but definitely we have to see whether it makes business case for us as well. What has aided us in the last 1 year, I would say, is that the price points in this segment also moving upwards. Competition has launched products of new generation at much higher, significantly higher, I would say, price points than what existed in this segment. That does help the business case, and those evaluations are on.
That's interesting. So what you're saying is that the upward movement in prices of premium hatchbacks and the fact that they still get good volumes with these premium prices is very encouraging for you.
Yeah.
So we're talking fundamentally of the new i20 and its premium pricing and the volumes
I
they're
didn't
getting.
say that, but yes, you can say that.
Right. Okay. So that's been a good case study. Okay. Just want to talk a little bit more about now. You've come in, building the Volkswagen brand. Of course, it stands for something. But do you still feel that there is this residual perception of it being slightly high cost, and that's something you need to work on even more, especially with Taigun coming in, because again, that's a very competitive product, and pricing will be good, I'm sure, but it's even the perception of cost of ownership which needs to be tackled.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this typically has been one of the issues that we have tried to address, not only with the Taigun or with the new products coming into the market, but with the existing products as well. Over the last 2-3 years, we have taken a host of initiatives, including the introduction of the 4-year, the Forever Care package, which included 4 years extended warranty, 4-year RSA, which brought down the service cost or the ownership cost for the customers by as much as 20%. Yeah. Along with that, reduction in parts prices, which we did in 2019, and we'll be doing again in March, where we are bringing down the parts prices for maintenance parts by almost by 11 to 12%, will make us very competitive in the segment. With the Taigun, these learnings have been taken into the project stage as well. Yeah, so in the development stage itself, we have taken care of the cost of ownership, especially through higher localization, which for the Taigun is going to be as high as 90%.
And more child parts maybe.
And child parts availability. So that's something as a learning. Being in India for the last 10 years, we have built into the project. So these fundamentally at the design stage itself, we have taken care of. Along with that, there will be a host of other measures like parts price realignment, engine oil price realignment. So a host of initiatives lined up. And I think mostly what the customers are looking for is a value perception. Yeah. Am I getting the value that I'm paying for? Yeah. So that's where the customer experience piece also comes into play, including your network reach, including what kind of an interaction do I have at the dealership? Do I get the information that I require? Do I get the transparency that I require? So it's a holistic experience that we are trying to build, which is uniquely Volkswagen, and that we are driving through our initiative called Sarvottam 2.0. So it's not only the product, not only how the design has been made, but also how the ownership experience is going to be. So that makes a value proposition for the customer.
Right, and let's talking about with Taigun, you talked about being very competitive in price and cost of ownership, but there's this balance about even being premium. Is it fair to say that within the segment you'll still be at the premium end, or are you going to really go for the jugular and go for absolute volumes with some crazy pricing?
See, we will be true to our DNA. We are of course
slightly premium.
We are of course here to be competitive. We are here of course for the volumes, but at the same time we will not compromise on DNA, our DNA, which is safety, fun to drive. Yeah, so these are things which will be inbuilt into the car, and if that calls for a little bit of premium, we are willing to do that.
Right. And what about again look and feel and quality? Because sometimes these things do get sacrificed when you localize, when you use local vendors. Has that been a challenge?
No compromise, Hormuz, and I think when we do a piece and when we do a drive with you with the Taigun, you'll give a testimony to that. No compromise on that. It will be a true-blooded Volkswagen with all the global DNA of the Volkswagen brand.
look forward to that.
Yeah.
But let's say moving away from the Taigun and your strategy of getting the Tiguan Allspace and the T-Roc, and more to come, maybe a Touareg or the regular Tiguan. Is this 2,500 homologation free category really working for you, and could we even see some CKD coming out of some of these products?
See, definitely the next step in increasing the volumes in these segments is, of course, looking at CKD options, or I won't say CKD, I would say parts and component strategies. So that's anyway always under evaluation, whether it makes sense to import fully built units or to have a parts and component strategy. So that is totally under evaluation, but definitely these products will continue one way or the other. Yeah.
Right.
We, of course, looking at the response to the T-Roc and the Allspace, see a much higher volume potential than what the quota allows us, and that's why all those options are being studied right.
Do you think there's still a case for the T-Roc, given the fact that you're going to have the Tiguan, which is about the same size and with the same engine power plant as well? So the Taigun, sorry.
Yeah. So
the Taigun and the T-Roc, I mean, they would kind of in a way overlap to some
extent. The target audience is very different. Yeah?
Right.
The Taigun, I would say, is positioned as a young and vibrant for the hustler, as we said, for people who are looking for new opportunities. Whereas the T-Roc has a very distinctive positioning,
right,
globally as well and in India as well. And we have seen that the people who have bought the T-Roc in India are true-blooded, driving enthusiasts,
right,
who look at the design, who look at how the car differentiates themselves from the crowd. So that's how these two products are positioned. I think the price points are very apt for some people. Based on your preference, you can decide on the Taigun or on the T-Roc based on your preferences. So I think very well positioned, no overlaps in positioning as far as I see.
Right. And what about, looking at certain halo models? I mean, a lot of Volkswagen executives have said, even in India, that, no range is complete without the Golf. Would you look at a Golf as a kind of a halo model, really powerful version?
Why not, Hormuz?
Yeah.
We are always looking at it.
No, but you say that, but I just want a little bit more. Is there more thought going into it? I mean, or is that right now it's would be a bit of a distraction and you look at it at a later stage?
I think at this point of time where we are looking at establishing a robust portfolio for ourselves, and along with the SUVW strategy, at least personally along with my team, I would like to focus on that strategy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, establish ourselves there, and once we are successful with that strategy, which I'm sure we will be, there's a world of opportunities available. We have a wide product portfolio worldwide. And if the price points are right, and if it makes business case for us, why not?
Right. And you talked about your new strategy, evolving strategy, India 2.0. It's literally like a reboot. What do you think are your biggest challenges? I mean, the sense I get is product, you're sorted. Is it let's say wooing the customer? Is it the cost targets? What really is the challenge you foresee going forward?
I think the challenge which I personally feel is making sure that the customers understand the value proposition of the car. Yeah, it's not only about the design and what the product is, but what does he get when he buys a Volkswagen. The unique experience that we want to provide, right from inquiring about the car to his service experience, is what will differentiate us in the market. Yeah. So this is the biggest challenge. How do we position ourselves as providing a holistic customer experience rather than just the product? Because if the product is strong, I believe it will sell on its own. But making an environment around it, making an ecosystem around it, which enables customers to understand the value proposition, is the piece that we are trying to implement, get across into our network, get communicated to customers. That's, I think, one of the biggest tasks that me and my team have.
Fair enough. And looking at the market, again, not in your control, how do you see 2021 panning out? Are you confident that the way the market is coming out of COVID is looking robust, and actually the timing in a way has been good? I mean, if you'd launched this a year earlier, it might have been a different story or more of a challenge. So in that way, do you think, the market is going to hold out?
All signs are pointing to that, Hormuz. Yeah, but frankly, your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, last year we were all looking at rebounding from a.
We can't predict tomorrow. Leave alone next year.
2019, we were all looking forward to 2020, and then COVID happened. But all the signs for the last 4 months and going into January as well have been very positive. Demand is far outstripping supply. Inquiry levels seem to be good. The quality of inquiries coming in is very, very good. Is much more robust than what it used to be in 2018 or 2019, or in fact most of 2020 as well. So all signs are good. The demand is back. The customers are very enthusiastic and looking forward to personal mobility more than the shared mobility shift we were seeing in 2019. So all signs are good. Yeah, but I don't have a crystal ball. We are prepared to meet this challenge of growth in the market. But we have to be cautious. Yeah, you never know.
Right, and I just want to ask you. 6 months back, everyone was. There were lockdowns. People weren't walking into showroom. Retail was shut. Do you think people have gone back to the old normal? They want to come into the showrooms, touch and feel cars, or do you see there is a huge amount of shift to digital or more online shopping? But finally, that last bit is in the showroom, and our showrooms getting crowded.
Definitely, in terms of I would say pre-purchase research, definitely inquiry generation has shifted to digital. Yeah. Pre-COVID, our digital inquiry levels were into the range of 45%, which has shifted to around 70 to 75% digital leads coming into us. So a lot more of customers are actually doing their pre-purchase research online and sending us leads online or digitally. Yeah, the booking, I would say, was 1% digitally before COVID. During the COVID and after COVID, it has sustained at around 5 to 7% or up to 10% bookings coming through.
It's not dropped.
It's not dropped. So it's sustained at 5 to 10% range, depending on the model availability in the digital space. But I think this is definitely a trend which is increasing much more than walk-ins. Walk-ins have stayed flat or have actually dropped. Yeah. So most of the people are doing their pre-purchase research online or digitally, coming back to the showrooms just to touch and feel the car. So that's a fundamental change which has happened in the industry, and I'm sure I think it is going to stay.
Well, let's hope people still have interest in cars, because we always feel the cars today are like a PPE suit, safest way to travel, and I think for that reason people are going to be buying cars more and more, hopefully. So wish you all the best for 2021. I know it's a big year for you, and thanks so much for talking to us.
Thanks, Armaz.
Thank you.
Look, thank you for your wishes, and I think it is going to be the year of Volkswagen.
Look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Armaz.